So I just watched the Game Awards 2024 and oh gee, Jeffrey, did you put on a show? Now, this year marks the 10-year anniversary of the Game Awards, and over that time, the show has grown to take over the reins from the corpse of E3 as being the next Gamer Christmas. Except it's actually around Christmas time now, so usually the expectations for the show's contents are pretty high. Despite this, they almost never manage to follow through with that, instead being more known for Jeff glossing over awards that aren't Game of the Year, and random celebrities who don't give a fuck about video games slurring the nominees' names.
Melinda Juergens.
But this year mostly broke that trend by basically having a big reveal for everyone. RPG fans got The Witcher 4, Souls-like fans got an Elden Ring sequel focusing on co-op, cringe humor fans got Borderlands 4, YouTubers got a new woke game to bitch about, and you've even got a game for masochists who think that moving house is considered a cozy experience. Since a lot of these trailers are so short and the show is like 4 hours long, the general gist for my opinions on 90% of the reveals is something along the lines of, yup, that sure is a game that may or may not release between now and the next 2 to 3 years, but luckily that still leaves out 10% of the reveals in a packed show. So I'm going to spend the next section going over some specific examples of reveals that I actually do have some things to add on to, starting with Virtua Fighter. A year and a half ago, I made a video called The Most Influential Game Everyone Forgot About. A video talking about the Virtua Fighter series and how it basically revolutionized video games forever by pioneering real-time 3D graphics in games, and basically proving they could be used in gaming in a big way. And then the series died due to being too reliant on its advanced graphics and being very bland outside of that for a casual audience, which led to it getting shafted for more exciting and visually appealing fighting games. I also talked about rumours of a new Virtua Fighter popping up, and oh boy, look what we have here, Jeffy boy, you sly dog. I said on the prospect of a new Virtua Fighter that Sega were going to have their work cut out for them in making people care about this series again after almost 20 years since the last major installment, and 30 years since the last major installment non-fighting game players actually remember existing. And it seems from this trailer and the subsequent VF Direct held after the awards show, they know this too, because they are going all in. A bold, fresh new look for the characters in a series known for its generic character designs. A new focus on story and extra content in a series not known to give a fuck about either of them, while still maintaining the series' core as a graphical benchmark that takes a grounded approach to fighting games with a focus on representing real martial arts through exceedingly simple and easy to understand yet incredibly deep gameplay consisting of just 3 buttons: punch, kick, and block. They are able to achieve all of this thanks to the assistance of RGG Studio, the developers behind the Yakuza series, games that are known for all of the things that VF lacks and sorely needs. So overall, I am very optimistic about this bold new direction for Virtua Fighter, and plus, if you want to try it out, Virtua Fighter 5 is coming to Steam pretty soon too, with an open beta still, hopefully, ongoing as of the time of this video's release. Sega have been on their A game over the past few years, selling 1 million copies of Metaphor in a single day and making enough money to comfortably purchase fucking Angry Birds for $1 billion. Definitely keep your eyes on the new VF, because it aims to bring value to the franchise to all kinds of players in ways that it never did before. And even if you're not really a fighting game fan, Sega's back catalogue of old games they are eager to use is so large that the success of Virtua Fighter means that chances are they'll have something in store for you as well. And speaking of old games, this really was the Game Awards for new entries in old IP that has tons of potential, but it hasn't had a new entry in at least 2 decades, and the only people who were excited for them on their reveal were 40-year-old dads. Not only do you have a new Virtua Fighter, but we've got a new 2D Ninja Gaiden, dark and brooding Pac-Man, a new Turok, a new Onimusha, a new Akami, even Fumito Ueda, the creator of beloved games like Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, announced a new game under a brand new studio, something he hasn't done in almost a decade. Bringing back old franchises is probably the hardest thing you can do as a creative, especially when some of these franchises are fucking ancient, because it's basically like creating a brand new IP without the freedom of creating something completely new. You've got to make the new game seem fresh and modern and exciting to a now unfamiliar audience, but without removing what made it cool in the first place. And sometimes these two things are in direct conflict with each other, so that's an even bigger challenge. In most of these cases, it's far too early to tell how successful these games are at accomplishing what I just mentioned, mentioned. But I wish all of these developers the best in doing so, because I definitely wouldn't want to be at the mercy of angry gamers on the internet. We won't even have to wait that long too, because Ninja Gaiden is coming out in 2025, the new Elden Ring is coming out in 2025, Monster Hunter is coming out in 2025, and wait, how long is this fucking list? Yeah, I was already starting to think this earlier this year, but this show definitely sold it to me now. If you thought you had a backlog from 2023, then it's about to get like twice as large next year. 2024, despite having some really major titles, was a pretty dry year all things considered, with only specific game genres having a ton of new games to choose from. But holy fuck, you can't say that about 2025. Taking this show's reveals into account with older announcements, it's pretty safe to assume that Monster Hunter Wilds, Splitgate 2, Borderlands 4, Outer Worlds 2, Crimson Desert, Elden Ring Night Rain, First Berserker Kazan, Slay the Spire 2, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, Metroid Prime 4, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Doom the Dark Ages, Dynasty Warriors Origins, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Fatal Fury City of the Wolves, Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, Hunter x Hunter Nen Impact, Capcom Fighting Collection 2, 2XKO, Sid Meier's Civilization 7, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Fable, Avowed, Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, Mafia The Old Country, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, Pokemon Legends Z-A, South of Midnight, Little Nightmares 3, and maybe, but I'm not sure about this one, a little game called Grand Theft Auto 6. All are likely or outright confirmed to be coming out next year. Now, things could change, and we don't even know if there'll be any shadow drops throughout the next year, but 2025 is looking to be another packed year for gaming. Maybe not quite on the same level as 2023, but somewhat close to it. So you fuckers on Twitter better not be complaining about having no games to play next year. I know you already feel the urge to type it. Resist it. You'll feel better afterwards. Those are my thoughts on the reveals for the Game Awards. Again, everything else I didn't mention, I basically have nothing else to say on them. Go watch, I don't know, fucking Ratatosca if you want a deep dive on Elden Ring or something. But in terms of the actual show itself, I think the celebrity cameos were a lot more tame this year than last. The overall pacing of the show was solid. The musical performances were relevant and not too plentiful as to get annoying. I liked that the two old guys from the Muppets talked shit about Jeff Keighley the entire time. They actually gave the few nominees who were able to make a speech the chance to fucking speak this year. And oh my god, how the fuck did Astrobot win Best Game Direction and Game of the Year? I'm so sorry, Game Science. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I give the Game Awards 2024 a solid 9 out of 10 and 2 thumbs up. They could have spread the reveals out more throughout the entire show instead of condensing all of them at the very beginning, leaving the end with fuck all. But apart from that, this year was one of the best Game Awards ever run. Perfect for its 10-year anniversary. That's all from me. See you in 2025. Here's a Jackie Bryant quote to celebrate Virtua Fighter coming back. Merry Christmas, everyone! Thanks to all my patrons on Patreon for supporting this channel throughout all of 2024, 2023, just the entire time I've been doing it, including my anonymous patron. And if you want to join the Patreon, you can do so with the link in the bottom of the description below. All support is greatly appreciated. Thank you. See you in 2024. I mean 2025. Fuck.